Hey YouTube, it's Mark,
And Rocky.
and we are
This Cruise Life.
Last week, Margaritaville at Sea announced the launch date and details about their largest ship to date, the Beachcomber.
With the booking engine online, we've been able to dig deep into the details listed on margaritavillasea.com to bring you a first look at some of the spaces you can expect to see on the ship. We'll be taking you deck by deck for this first look at the Beachcomber.
Now, before we comb the beach for clues on what we can expect to see on this new ship, we'd love to have you join our This Cruise Life cruise community. All it takes is clicking that subscribe button, and it's free to do.
Now, in addition to scouring Beachcomber's deck plans and the booking engine, we've spent hours researching her current deck plans as a Costa ship.
The Costa Fortuna provides us some hints into what to expect with Beachcomber. Additionally, we have fun facts sailed on every single one of Carnival Cruise Line's Destiny class ships, which gives us even more to go on when it comes to this new ship.
With that said, the information that we share is subject to change once Beachcomber's final deck plans are released. But we've got some pretty good insights to get you excited.
Let's go!
Starting at the top of the ship on deck 14, this is where we see the entrance to the Beachcomber's signature slide. That's one thing that we can promise you.
Now, what we don't know is what the rest of this space will be. On Costa, it was the solarium. On Carnival, it's the adults-only Serenity deck, which we always thought was a little odd because you've got all of these kids lining up to get to the water slide, and then you've got all of these people laying out.
What's interesting is the space is colored blue on the deck plans, which seems to indicate that it's going to be more of a kid or family-friendly type of a space on those outdoor decks. You'll see more of this blue color pop up on other decks down below.
So could this be where the Beachcomber has that cornhole challenge and mini golf? It would make way more sense than those lounge chairs watching the kids go down the slides.
Yeah. Now moving on to deck 13. Oh, that's unlucky. Let's move on down to deck 12 next.
At the forward of deck 12, this is where we can expect to see the kids clubs based on both the Costa as well as Carnival versions. Now, Costa on the port side has kids that are 3 to 6 and 7 to 11, and reviews say that their teens clubs are on the starboard side using that space.
For Beachcomber, we'd expect to see Jollymon Kids Club for the kids aged 3 to 5 on port, especially since the deck plans highlight the outdoor play space that Carnival has for their youngest cruisers.
Now, based on the size of this space, we could also expect to see the Parakeets Kids Club here for those cruisers that are aged 6 to 9.
On the starboard side, it would make sense to have either the Hangout Tweens Club and or the Teens Club based on the deck plan key.
In addition to those kids clubs, we expect to see plenty of lounge and layout space, very similar to the Costa and Carnival sisters.
Now we do see that there is a bar on the deck plans, and this will be nice for those that are going up and enjoying the sun on deck 14, as well as those potentially laying out on 12. We're curious, what do you think that this bar is going to be themed after being so high on the ship?
Leave it in the comments below. Is this where we find Landshark Lookout? Or do you think it's something different? Okay, at the aft of deck 12, this is where we find the sports court.
Now, on the Beachcomber's deck plan, we see this little green square. We're thinking this is likely going to be the brand's popular pickleball at sea.
Now, the other thing that's back there on deck 12, really, it's blue space all the way around, just like that outdoor-friendly space. So will we find more? Will we find shuffleboard there? Will we find other things that surround pickleball at sea? And then the one thing we know for sure is there is a skylight that looks down into, well, we'll tell you about that on the next deck.
Well, that's it for deck 12. Let's take a look at deck 11 next.
At the forward of deck 11, we find Margaritaville at Sea's largest gym to date. And this gym on the deck plan still has that hot tub. Carnival's been ripping those out to make more room for paid spaces, but here it's still there on the Beachcomber's deck plan.
Now, coming out of the gym, based on the deck plans on Carnival and Costa, we expect to see the St. Somewhere Spa in this location.
It's also labeled with a little palm tree swaying. I can already feel my stress melting away.
Now, also in this area are some new categories of cabins for the Beachcomber, and that is going to be your St. Somewhere Spa cabins.
As we head aft, we find yet another blue wraparound deck, more outdoor fun and sports type of things. This is where we do expect to see the jogging track based on sister ships from the other brands.
Right. Now, inside this space, there is a different little venue that we're really excited about. On Costa Fortuna, this is a specialty upcharge restaurant where they have a very nice exclusive menu.
They describe it as gourmet and high class and all of these sorts of things. Rocky, what could be gourmet on board the Beachcomber?
Well, I don't know. I would have to say maybe JWB Prime Steakhouse.
Would make a ton of sense because it's got that skylight. Remember how I said the skylight looks down? I could absolutely see eating underneath that beautiful skylight, enjoying my Wagyu meatball. I will definitely be there for that.
Yes. Well, that is everything on Deck 11. Let's jump down to Deck 10 next. Now, at the forward of Deck 10, this is where we just see some staterooms. No changes here. Now, as we come outside, that's where we see the run out of the Beachcomber's signature slide. Plus, there is a plunge pool if it stays consistent with Costa Fortuna's deck plans, and a little hot tub as well.
It's on the Beachcomber's deck plans. Look
Yep.
at it right here. That's going to be awesome. As we head aft around the midship area, we see a bandstand, DJ booth, something along that line, and there's a little guitar to indicate that it is an entertainment space.
Now, I would expect the outdoor spaces over here to be layouts, but then when you go back inside, this is where we see another hamburger icon on the deck plans, and we have a feeling that this is going to remain consistent from Costa Fortuna.
Now, on Costa Fortuna, this is where they have installed their pizza place. And so it would make sense. Those pizza ovens are already there. It
Why
would
not?
make sense to see Frank and Lola's here. It's above the buffet on deck 9, and I am already craving that signature deep dish pizza. Now, as we head outside aft on deck 10, we find another cheeseburger on the deck plan indicating yet another food venue. On Carnival Radiance, they actually have this is where they put in Guy's Pig and Anchor Smokehouse Brewhouse. It's a long, narrow area. Do we know any restaurants on board Margaritaville at Sea that could fit in this space, Rock?
You know, honestly, I think we might see the appearance of Mexican Cutie Cantina in this spot,
Hope so.
or maybe they'll introduce something new onto the Beachcomber. We'll have to see. What are your thoughts? Put them in the comments below.
Now, I will say, compared to the Costa and Carnival equivalents, Margaritaville at Sea does appear to rip out that Magradome, that roof that closes off the outdoor pool. It's the only real way you could put in a restaurant there. Now, to be fair, while we love the Magradomes and the climate-controlled nature of those things haven't worked for years, which is why Carnival has been ripping them out in dry dock. So I think we will see that removed and then just have some more space to walk around and maybe even lay out up there.
That sounds great. Well, that's it for Deck 10. Let's pop on down to Deck number 9 next.
The forward of deck 9 has a whole bunch of staterooms, but then as you come outside into that main outdoor space, that is where we find the Lido pool and a couple of hot tubs. Super excited for that, as well as the deck plan lists 3 bars.
3 bars. That's amazing. One of them we're thinking is probably going to be that license to chill bar, and perhaps we'll see a Landshark bar out there as well. But that 3rd bar, we don't really know what it's going to be.
Heading aft and inside, this is where we find the Port of Indecision buffet. Now, it is a fairly standard buffet layout. Just like the Costa ships, there are no food menus that flank the buffet. Like Carnival has the deli or the seafood shack or that Lucky Bowl on the Sunrise.
Yep.
There aren't any of those. It's just labeled as a buffet with plenty of seating.
But then as we head outside to that aft section, that's where we see another hamburger. This time we think it actually is a burger. How about cheeseburger in paradise right there, my friends? And then also is as consistent with both the Islander and the Paradise, there is a bar right next to the hamburger or cheeseburger in paradise. We're wondering if this might be 5 o'clock somewhere bar. And with the pool there, probably the 5 o'clock somewhere pool.
Oh, that's perfect. And hot tubs too?
Yes, there are.
Okay, that sounds like a fantastic place to hang out. And I do like the thought that this could be Cheeseburger in Paradise just based on the amount of space and the layout of where this is. And then, good point, that consistent with the others, it would be the 5 o'clock somewhere area on the ship.
I think so.
I love it. Okay, that's everything on deck number 9.
Yep.
Let's jump on down to deck number 8.
Deck 8 has the bridge at the forward and then lots of staterooms throughout. Deck 7, lots of staterooms. Deck 6, lots of staterooms. The main thing that we're expecting to see with Beachcomber is upgraded amenities and upgraded designs within the staterooms. We're really excited about that.
Well, that brings us down to deck number 5, where at the forward of the ship we start to see some venues actually revealed on Beachcomber. And this is, at the very front of that ship, is the third story of the Stars on the Water Theater.
We're so excited to see this venue. Now, it is named out when you're doing your booking process. Deck 6 forward is listed as being closest to the entertainment from Stars on the Water Theater. That's how we came up with this naming.
Heading aft of the theater is where we find the ship's shopping district. Now, you know us, we love all of the branded merch that we've been able to pick up across our sailings, and we expect to see some cool stuff here on Beachcomber as well.
These shops surround the atrium. Now, as we move a little bit further aft, we enter a space that Costa Fortuna has listed as a cocktail bar where the cocktails may tell a story about the experience.
Do we have any of those kinds of bars on Margaritaville at Sea?
We do, and that would be Hemisphere Dancer Craft Spirits.
Now, we're not convinced that this is where this bar will end up, but as you look at the rest of the deck plans, there really isn't another great space for Hemisphere Dancer Craft Spirits, and we do know, based on what Margaritaville at Sea has released, it will be on this ship. Now, on the starboard side, there's another enclosed space. On the Fortuna version, it was once a card room. It's still listed on the deck plan. Will Margaritaville at Sea use it for anything? We're not sure.
Now, in the center of this space, that's where we find another beautiful lounge, and it's called the Euphoria Lounge. Euphoria made its debut on the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise,
Yep.
so it's great to see this venue coming to this ship.
Now, this is where you'll find trivias, and you'll find various game shows, and of course, live music, and we can expect to see a band. And the best part, there's another bar right there in Euphoria Lounge, so you do not have to go far to find your margaritas.
That's perfect. Now, what we will say is on the Carnival iteration of this class of ship, this is where you would find the casino.
Not here.
Where's the casino? We head further aft to find our way into the Margaritaville Casino.
The deck of playing cards is kind of the giveaway that we saw here for it being the casino. Plus, it does match, as Rocky mentioned, the Costa Fortuna's version where the casino is right there.
Right. Now, an interesting location inside the casino is an entrance that goes down a spiral staircase. We'll cover that when we get to the next deck, so stay tuned for that.
What we don't see, however, in the casino is a bar that's delineated. Now, the casino bar is one of our favorite spaces for late night drinks on board Islander, and so is it just not listed, or do you use the Euphoria Lounge bar around the corner? We will have to find out.
Very interesting. As we move aft from the casino, this is where we see the addition of 3 additional venues. On the port side, there's yet another hamburger, and in this case, we think it might be Farside Sushi.
Now, Costa Fortuna kind of gave it away. This is where they have their sushi joint. We have not seen this anywhere else on the ship. And while Margaritaville at Sea has not confirmed that it will make its appearance on Beachcomber, we're asking you, please bring back Farside Sushi. We think it is the best sushi at sea, and we hope to see it here in this space.
Right. Now, on the starboard side, there is a martini glass, which indicates a bar. Now, on the Costa Fortuna, this is where there is a piano bar. Margaritaville at Sea Paradise does have Keys on the Water, which is their version of a piano bar. So will we see Keys on the Water make its debut on the Beachcomber?
I'd like to think so. Now, at the very aft of Deck 5, this is where on both the Carnival and Costa versions of the ship, you've got the big comedy club or kind of event space. And so we'll expect to see something similar here where we have comedians, maybe the Quest,
Maybe.
Lost Shaker of Salt,
Yep.
adults only show.
Yeah, and this venue is called Who's to Blame, which I think is perfect for a comedy venue on the ship. That's it for Deck 5. Let's go down to Deck 4.
At the very forward of Deck 4, this is where we see the second tier, second level of the Stars on the Water main theater. And as we come out, there's a lot of unlabeled space.
Will we see Beachcomber match the Islander with the concierge desk at this location? Will we also see Permanent Reminders, the new tattoo parlor that's making its debut on the Islander?
Whatever is up there, we do know that it will look down into that atrium, which we'll get to in a minute. But it's a great space that surrounds. I can already see myself standing up there watching the captain's toast and a variety of other things that happen in that space.
I would also expect to see the photo gallery in this location as well.
That's true. What is going to be very different, though, from Islander is as we head aft from there, there's a restaurant.
Whoa! Heading aft, we enter a midship 2-story dining room. Fun fact, this is consistent with the Fortuna because of the number of passengers that are going to be on this ship. There are actually two sets of full dining rooms.
And this one is Finn's main dining. Now, we got that from the booking engine where the Deck 2 stateroom said this is closest to Finn's main dining as well as the flip-flop bar. And so we've got pretty good guesses here that that's what it's going to be.
Correct, which is awesome to see this venue coming over from Paradise and Islander. It's nice to come home to the Finn's main dining.
Now, as we leave Finn's main dining on the port side of the ship, this is where Costa Fortuna has the chapel.
Ooh. However, on Margaritaville at Sea Beachcomber, we see a margarita glass.
Wait, so the chapel could become a bar? Similar to, I think we're going to have to speak easy about this one. But believe me, you'll be quietly making noise if this space does come to life.
Absolutely. Now, surrounding this area, we also find the nightclub, yet to be named. We don't think this is going to be hot, hot, hot like it is on Islander, so stay tuned for that.
Once we reach the aft of Deck 4, this is where we find the second of the two main dining rooms. This is the top floor of the Nautical Wheeler dining room. Again, based on the booking engine, we've learned this in early insight and are sharing it with you.
We're curious which of these dining rooms is going to have the VIP seating and the suites and all of that. So we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled to the websites and all the details for that.
I'm guessing that aft dining room because you've got those beautiful wake views. Like, those are great priority tables for those suite guests. And we hope to see, again, that insert menu and all that goodness for food.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is it for Deck 4. Let's go down to Deck number 3.
At the very front of Deck 3, we've got the main floor of the Stars on the Water Theater. This is where you're going to find the stage and the close-up seating. And then as we exit out of there on the starboard side, consistent with Fortuna, consistent with Carnival ships, this is where we see guest services.
Now, it's not labeled, but we would expect to see the shore excursions desk on the port side of the ship, which also is consistent with her sisters.
Yep.
And then this is also where we find the flip-flop bar. Now, I would expect that we're going to see a nice giant painted flip-flop, or thong as cruise director ZJ would call it, right here in this atrium.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they bring this space to life. We love this on Islander, and that is probably the space I'm looking forward to the most. Now, as we exit the atrium, we hit the first floor of that mid dining room, the Finn's main dining room.
Right. And then there's galley in between, so the next space is up the very aft, and that's the bottom deck of the Nautical Wheeler main dining.
Now, this is a common complaint on both Costa as well as Carnival ships. You can't walk through the galley.
Nope.
Obviously.
Nope.
So you either have to go up a deck or down a deck to get to the first floor of that dining room. So just keep that in mind. And that wraps up Deck 3.
That is it for Deck 3.
Wow.
Heading on down to Deck 2, it's all cabins, no changes here inside an ocean view, and the same goes for Deck number 1.
Okay, so that's a lot of information that we've just given you about the Beachcomber, and it is the very first look out there. Like I said, we've done a bunch of digging, whether it was in the booking engine across each and every stateroom, the Costa deck plans, the Carnival deck plans, our own personal travels. We wanted to try to give you a first look at Beachcomber to get you as excited as we are on this new ship.
So we're curious, what are your thoughts on some of the names that we have identified to some of these venues? Do you think we missed any? Are there any out there that you think would be a better fit in the location that we said it would be going to?
And more importantly, have you booked Beachcomber yet?
Right.
Those itineraries are on sale right now. Reach out, rocky@thiscruiselife.com. Join us. We're going to be doing a group cruise on Beachcomber.
We'll also be on the inaugural cruise sailing in January of 2027. It is not too late to sign yourself up for those cruises.
We've got so much more Beachcomber content coming your way, as well as just general cruise content. So if you haven't yet, I know you did in the beginning likely, but hit that subscribe button.
And make sure you smash that notification bell so you know whenever we put out any new content around the Beachcomber.
Thank you for watching two cruise nerds dig in deep around deck plans and what could be and what will be to come for Beachcomber. We're so excited, and we can't wait to see you on the sea.